Hello, friend. This is the Living as You Wish podcast, where your heart is healed by small, intimate stories for a life as you wish. And I'm Why Is That, honored to accompany you on this series. You know, in life, there are countless things to cherish, and you are the very first. I hope this podcast episode serves as a small reminder not to forget to love yourself a little. Let's begin. Long-term love often feels boring. Love isn't always rosy. There will come a time when everything feels familiar and monotonous. When you first fall in love, many compare it to paradise. You might hold your phone 24/7, texting, giggling, and every day you'd wander around city streets, stopping at bubble tea shops and eateries, talking endlessly about everything under the sun. But at some stage in a relationship, people suddenly feel bored with each other to the point where there's nothing left to say. Is that a sign that the feelings are gone? Actually, feeling bored with each other in a long-term relationship is completely normal, and everyone in one experiences it. From a psychological perspective, the first reason is that our brains have adapted to the intense emotions we feel when we're in love. When two people become too familiar, they start to take each other for granted, treating each other as a habit. This causes thoughts like, I need to love them more, I need to pay more attention, or I should surprise them on anniversaries to gradually fade away. The second reason is the lack of sweet encouragement like in the beginning. Because you take each other for granted, you tend to say fewer sweet, caring, or encouraging words. For example, you might feel that certain things don't need to be said, aren't important, or don't need to be shared. And from these small, seemingly insignificant things, bigger issues accumulate until, at some point, people forget the initial feeling. It could also be because you're too busy with life and forget that there are other things you need to care about. When you were innocent, bright-eyed students, you thought a lot about the future. But gradually, everyone forgets, getting too caught up in their own lives. The intense emotions of the present don't last forever, both positive and negative. This concept is called hedonic adaptation. When you experience an event, whether joy or sorrow, those emotional highs and lows will eventually fade over time and return to a stable state. Consider this a new normal that every relationship must go through. By embracing this boredom with a fresh perspective, you'll have a more relaxed response within your relationship. In truth, that initial feeling of love never truly disappears. Even if he no longer makes your face flush or your heart skip a beat when he holds your hand like in the early days, subconsciously, he still holds your hand tightly when crossing the street, still remembers to tell the pho shop owner not to add onions to your bowl. She still remembers your seafood allergy or your favorite drink. Love is still present. It's just that you've grown too accustomed to these expressions of affection. However, after clearly realizing that feeling bored in a relationship is normal, you should also take action to rekindle the romance for both of you. Occasionally, a change can help both of you rediscover those initial butterflies. A date at a new location with a completely different style, deep questions to get to know each other, can make your heart race and both of you feel more excited. Traveling together, enjoying a fresh environment, and discovering interesting things in a new place is also an excellent way to reignite the spark. This is also a good time for both of you to sit down, confide, and have deep conversations about issues. Furthermore, don't forget to give each other compliments and words of encouragement. Don't be stingy or shy about expressing praise to your significant other, because for them, this is not just recognition, but also gives them more motivation to strive and feel more confident about themselves. Another quite effective way is to refresh yourself. Unlike the early days of dating, after being together for a while, couples often become more relaxed, no longer taking as much care of themselves. They stop dressing impeccably or meticulously applying makeup every time they meet. This also contributes to emotions gradually fading without you even realizing it. Occasionally, try a new hairstyle, use a new fragrance, or wear different styles. Just a small thing like that is enough to make your partner feel intrigued and attractive again. No relationship is immune to the feeling of boredom from being together for a long time, and this ennui is not always a sign that you're not meant for each other. The phase of boredom or fading interest is not a sign of infidelity or incompatibility. It's simply a turning point in your relationship, and what happens next depends on whether or not you want to nurture your love. Cherish the present, love the little things, and love will be as you wish. Have you ever wondered how a small cat can bring profound lessons about happiness to humans? There's a funny story that goes like this. Cats weren't actually domesticated by humans. One fine day, they saw humans' food stores attracting mice, which were their prime food source. And if these cats lived with humans, it meant they would always be well fed. So, why not pretend to be domesticated? Humans and cats have been symbiotic ever since. This is to say that the relationship between humans and cats is not one of owner and pet. In fact, cats see us as normal friends. Cats don't concern themselves with the changes of life, nor with their human caregivers. They don't whine or bark loudly to demand your affection. Cats always exude an air of arrogance and nonchalance. They aren't overly clingy, but they know when you're sad and need comfort. That's why many psychologists advise that if you're feeling down, try getting a cat or another pet. Most animals don't judge and seek to form a bond with humans, regardless of external factors or personality. It's this unconditional connection and attachment between animals and humans that creates a sense of comfort. Researchers call this contact comfort. Simply spending time playing, petting, and doting on adorable cats will help the body produce serotonin, also known as the happiness hormone, a chemical that improves mood. Additionally, the playfulness and affection of puppies also bring joy to people, and the satisfying purring frequency of cats also has healing effects. The first day I brought my cat home, it fit neatly in the palm of my hand. Suddenly, there was a small, round, fluffy ball bouncing around the house. It just felt so joyful. Those moments when it would doze off, gently wagging its tail, were when I truly realized that, after all, I wasn't alone. Cats are very independent. They may not like being hugged and kissed too much, but that doesn't mean they don't care about you. In some miraculous way, they sense when you're not okay. Then they'll casually walk over, rub against you, and lick your wounds. They don't even need to try to do anything grand, simply chasing sunbeams on the floor, yawning widely, or sleeping belly up with their paws in the air. Those small things are enough to make your otherwise quiet day much more lively. Just seeing them makes the heavy burdens in your heart dissipate. My chubby cat has made my life so much better. Before, I used to think I was useless, with an uncertain future. But ever since this soft, round fluffball appeared out of nowhere and slept peacefully beside me, growing up healthy thanks to my care, I feel that my existence has great meaning, and my cat is a wonderful gift I've received. Having a cat makes me feel more responsible, like there's something keeping me anchored to the world. I've gradually come to feel love and the bright, vibrant colors in the life of this quiet person. I'm responsible for my cat, and also responsible for my own life. I've realized that there are countless precious things around me. I've learned to love everything, from the smallest things to find a life as I wish. Thank you for staying to listen to these healing moments. If you resonate with these heartfelt words, don't forget to follow the channel to catch the next episodes of the Living as You Wish podcast.